Oh, just another beautiful morning out here on... Wait, hold on a minute. This is a little bit odd. A brick house. A gate there. Trees. And we don't get those... Whoa. And if you look down there, there's another shed. I don't think we're on Nelly Creek anymore, that's for sure. Oh, you heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. G'day everyone, my name's Noah, otherwise known as the Johnny Man, and welcome back to what was Nelly Creek, but it's now not. As you can see, we've got a brand new location here. We have shifted farms. Not everything is here yet, but we've moved all our house stuff. We've still got quite a lot of stuff to retrieve from Nelly Creek, and unfortunately some of it may take a little while, quite a lot of moving videos, and that's probably what we're going to be doing for the majority of 2022, but nonetheless. And yes, hello, it is different time of day. I'm wearing a different shirt. This is probably what's going to happen over the course of many of these videos, where it be over a number of days and where I change clothes all of a sudden. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So you can see over there the trailer, the car and house. Now we're going to basically cover the general layout of the farm as it is right now, keeping in mind that there are a few little spots that are a bit messy, and those will be cleaned up in future videos. And some of the stuff I'm not really supposed to show because they'll be going anyways. Oh, sand. These gates are like aliens to me. Yeah, that's some pretty big feed out there. Pretty boggy country too. Look over yonder. I do believe there's a motorbike track there.
Yeah, but they're out.
Ooh. Hello, cows.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Do you reckon we should name them, or?
Well, they were supposed to be for eating, but they're both heifers. So,
We'll leave that up to our viewers to decide. What should we name the cows?
Oh, well, no, Mum's already named them.
What you called them then?
I forgot.
We'll do a vote. We'll do a vote. Leave it down in the comment section down below, everyone. If you could do that, we might find ourselves naming some
Bessie
cows.
Bessie and starting off with little bits.
Yeah. So they're set up like sheep yards and also cattle yards.
Oh, the cattle yards are that part and the sheep yards are this side. But yeah, they're starting to fall apart.
Yeah, so they need a bit of work.
Yeah, they need a better work, and these are in better nick. But they're too small.
True. Too small for one of our mobs, at least.
Yeah.
So if we were to use them, we'd need to do some major upgrades.
Yeah.
And
there's no race even here for tagging or anything.
True. And right up here is, well, the Dirt Rider Heaven top tank. I don't know if this is the highest point on the farm or not, but I want to call this the top tank. But yeah. Over yonder. Are those the Nelly shape, or
Yeah,
they?
yep. And then over that way is the other
mob.
The other mob.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about be close to the highest point. Yeah.
So the reason why we're calling this paddock the Dirt Rider Heaven paddock as is because, as you can quite clearly see, there's a lot of jumps and mounds and dips and all sorts. This came with the property. This was once known as Dirt Rider Heaven, but they've been shut down. And now we own this 70-acre, give or take, paddock along with the rest of the farm. We're probably going to be doing something with this, but for right now we've just been using it for having our shed coming in here and grazing down some of the feed that's on here. It is our plan eventually to flatten down all this and turn it into a paddock, but how long that will take we'll have to wait and see. Oh, correction, it's not 70 acres, it's 125 acres. It's around 50 hectares, this paddock alone. Portable toilet out in the middle of nowhere. You can see down here there's a big hole which is mostly clay around it. This is where the sheep have been feeding off the water when they were in this paddock. The pipe runs down to a solar panel which you cannot quite see, and the windmill over there that runs to the other paddock where the heifers are, if I'm saying that right. Now of course I'll probably get some people wanting to know this exact question, and that would be, will you be sending something over Dirt Rider Heaven before you flatten it? No, we will not. The reason being is Dirt Rider Heaven hasn't been used for a hot minute, about a year and a half or so. Yeah, a bit more. Hasn't been used for a couple of years, and some of the stuff is overgrown, and the tracks are a little bit, well, not how they were supposed to be when Dirt Rider Heaven was in operation. And we will not be sending something over this due to the fact that we want to keep ourselves safe, we want to keep everyone else safe, and we want to keep our machinery from being destroyed by sending it over Dirt Rider Heaven. So that answers that question. Hello cows. So it will be quite a common appearance that some of the feet around here, just like the stuff back there, it will appear patchy, and other times it will appear thick. That just shows the different soil types, that being white sand, which is well, there's quite a bit of it through here, and then you got other a little bit better quality soil that the old owners have top dressed along there, so that's the reason why it would probably look a little thicker. But yeah, it's our plan to well, we're gonna do something about that. We'll have a way of trying to make the feed a little bit better later on. As you can see here, again, changing the soil type and what they used on it depends on how the feed around here looks. So that's just something to keep in mind. As you can see now, you got a little bit more yellow and then it goes back to white. That's pretty much a little bit what it is around here. I mean, we do have some red country too, so we do have a bit of Nelly Creek up here, but well, it's mostly new stuff to us. We're probably going to have to get used to coast farming. So to the right of us, you can see that's where the paddock starts. The other side, you can just see through the trees there, all that's grey stuff across a massive gorge there. That's the river that runs through the farm, and across it is the other pine plantation. A couple of years ago, this farm did suffer a major bushfire, and it hit them pretty hard. Across the river there was a pine plantation, and it still is, but that got burnt, and because it's burnt, we're probably going to need to knock over those trees, do something about that in the future. But as you'll see in a bit when we get back to the yard, that's a little bit of a reason why there's appears to be some burnt foliage and also bits of scrap iron. A burnt combine, which I did a little investigation on, and Dad took it further as to how bad the damage was on that chain link combine. I'll probably go take a look at that and in another clip of the video, or maybe in the next one. But yeah, there's a better view. Some of them look like they're trying to regrow or something. Don't know why that is. There's the combine in question. You can see the right wheel is burnt, and the left one isn't. There's also a bunch of hoses and stuff that have been burnt. We don't know what state the gearbox of that is in. Dad needs his tools down here to find out what the damage is on that. But when we do find out what the situation is, I'll let you guys know straight away. And here we are back at the farm. So to get to the other side of the river, there's a little track that comes down from the farm here, and as you see down there, there is, and yes, you are seeing that right, that is a log bridge. And there's also a little track that goes down into the river itself and then climbs back up. It's a little bit of a narrow crossing, and there is water in the river, so I don't know how strong that log bridge is, but with most of the equipment that we're bringing down from Nelly Creek, we're probably going to need to do some major rearranging with that log bridge in order to get stuff across. Alright, we've made it to the other side. You can see over there's most of the burnt pine trees. Dad has been over this side, but I haven't, so this is all brand new to me. Over there you can see the yard. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, this side has not been used for quite a while. The old owners have pretty much just come up here for 5 breaks and that's about it. But you can see there's the pine tree plantation. Most of these trees are stripped bare. There are some that have still a little bit of regrowth.
Oh, and we can't get any further.
And
and some of the trees are starting to fall over. There we go.
Yeah. There we go. We need to find the gate, if there is one. We found the gate.
Oh yeah, the trees are starting to fall over. Some are coming on the fences.
And these trees will need to be knocked over anyway, so.
Yeah.
And people might be wondering, well, there was a bad fire that came through here and burnt all the trees. Won't the trees be burnt to the ground? No. Sometimes trees are just burnt, like all the foliage is burnt to the point where it's just the trunks and the wood that's burnt. Like, I don't know if it's on the inside or not, but some of these are, like most of these were left standing. There's some that are falling over now, but that's okay because we kind of need to knock most of these trees over in order to reutilize this paddock anyway, because, well, if the trees are dead then there's not much use for them. Oh, hello. A bit more grown trees on this side now. A lot of yellow soil here. It's probably not going to be the case inside the plantation itself, but we'll see. I'll probably take a closer look a bit later. Oh, looks like we're going on foot.
Oh, the chainsaw.
Chainsaw, the loader.
Well, it's amazing this wasn't cleared because this is top quality bloody sandplane country, this.
Yeah.
Got me stuff while it wasn't used. Maybe they weren't allowed to.
I reckon we need to find out. I mean, surely this would have all been burnt when the fire came through, so this must be regrowth.
Yeah, this is regrowth.
Oh, this would be nice, depending how far we can go till the boundary.
I don't even know where we're up to.
Yeah. Well.
Back under the pine tree. Over there.
Yeah.
Can't be much further to the boundary.
I'll need to get that tree out the way first. Oh, this looks like a fire break.
It is.
Hmm.
A lot of kangaroos this side. No one comes here.
And here's a little advice for the West Australian population counters of kangaroos. Go north of Bindoon and go north more. There's plenty of kangaroos around here. The Euros are not endangered, for those wondering. I have seen firsthand myself. Nelly Creek is home to thousands of them, and well, we don't know exactly how many are out here, but we might find out. There is a mini dam here. That looks what it looks like, at least. And there appears to be the boundary fence that goes across the river, like they just told me now. Beyond that fence, we don't own that.
Oh, do we?
Oh well. Looks like this video has turned into exploring with the Johnny Man, otherwise known as Noah.
Only we can't get in here with a car.
Yeah, I don't have my boots on me. I've only got sneakers.
I'll have to Google it.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go that way. I need a four-wheeler.
Yeah, four-wheeler would be handy.
See, some of them pine trees there are still alive too. We'll come back to life. That's what I wanted to do, check that. Before we have sheep get over this way, make sure that fence is good.
Yep.
On the river.
We have found the other boundary fence. That is actually the boundary fence. Truly is the boundary fence this time. And there's the edge of the pine plantation. Looks to be a lone bush or something in there. And another one. Oh wait, no, that tree's fallen over.
Over there they got water.
That windmill and solar panel.
Or even here,
I think we ended the pine plantation but entered a different one.
yeah, that's been native bush. That'd be Bankshire. That was all just left natural.
Okay. But it's most of them all burnt now.
Yeah. And I'll regrowing Bankshire's natural.
So I take it we'll probably leave those as
No, I
is.
can't touch it now.
Yeah.
Here it keeps going. Another paddock.
Another paddock.
Oh, where is it?
There's a single barbed wire.
Two barbed wires there. Now, is that the boundary?
That we will have to wait and see. Pretty odd boundary.
Yeah. I reckon sheep and all would get through that. There's a big thing over. Oh, I know that there should have been another river thing.
So in the car we're currently in, I don't exactly know the brand, but
Suzuki.
well, that doesn't quite look like a Suzuki sign, but anyway.
I'm pretty sure it's a Suzuki.
But anyway, this is a Terios. I don't exactly know the brand. We assume it's a Suzuki, but not sure. Basically, Mum and Dad bought this for me to drive around. Don't worry, the water's still coming. I am not, and by hook or by crook, I'm not leaving that thing behind. Because well, that's the sacred That's a sacred ute for me. But yeah, this is going to be my run around vehicle for the time being. Like most of the time around here, it's got 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. Half the time in this video when we were driving around, it wasn't 2-wheel drive, but it's got a switch down there. I'll probably show a little later. That you can switch it to 4-wheel drive, and this can get into boggier areas, and that's probably the reason why the old owners, they liked it so much, because this can get into the boggy country, whereas with the Ford and some of the other vehicles as well, they're only 2-wheel drive and don't have the option to switch to 4-wheel drive. So unfortunately the Ford will have to only go on the gravelled areas, and stuff that's not way too boggy, because if it goes on the boggy stuff, it'll get bogged. That's why we call it boggy stuff. Alright, again, change of clothes, sorry about that. There's just a few more things I want to go over before we call it quits on this video. And that's, well, we already covered the Terriers. I later discovered that it was an LDV, I think. Again, tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section and I'll correct that. Over here you can see, this is sort of like makeshift workshop / shearing shed area. Just coming up the steps here. Welcome to our shearing shed. Now it's a lot more smaller than the shearing shed on Nelly Creek, and we do have to do quite a bit of stuff to it before we can probably use it again. See these things? Our shed used to have those. They're called spindles, and fun fact about the really old shearing sheds, there's a generator in the back there where you can flick a switch like this, and it would start all these up, and they'd whir into life, and you could just simply pull the lever once you grab the sheep and start shearing. But the problem with these is, well, it's quite out in the open, and if a shearer is tall like me, you'd be hit by one of those spindles and it would not be very good at all. So a couple of years back, the government put regulation in place saying that you cannot get shearing gangs to shear in your shed unless you have the proper electric ones, which I've shown in the Nelly Creek shearing shed, which we've taken out. And Dad's gone up to the farm with the Holden today, back up to Canna to retrieve all of that. He's going to bring it down here. We'll probably remove these ones and then put the electric ones on. And also a difference between this and the Nelly Creek shearing shed is it's only a free stand. Now what I mean by free stand is got 1, 2 and 3, although the third one isn't connected at all. And another difference between this and the shearing shed back in Canna is you got these fancy little chutes. So in a future video, you'll see when we have Dad shearing in here, or maybe I'll get on the clippers, who knows. We'll bring the sheep out here, shear them, and once we're done, we send them down that chute and out to the sheep yards. With the other shed, we didn't have that. We had another little door system where there would be a pen out the back and a bunch of doors where we'd let the sheep out once the pen got full. And of course, this is our only shed for the time being, like proper shed. Basically, we may or may not be able to crop this. For right now, we're sticking with like pasture grazing and having our sheep on here, because the majority of the Nelly sheep have come down here to Erinvale. So that's the situation. Now, of course, we barely have any of our vehicles except for the Terriers. We do have a few other things here. That baler is not ours. We're bringing our 460M silage baler 2018 John Deere down here. And they've also got a New Holland 489 hay cutter back here, which for those who watch my farming simulator content would know that 489s are very common, and there's a mod for that in Farming Simulator. And there's not a green and yellow machine to be found anywhere yet. Well, unless you count this. So of course you may be wondering, why is this tractor still here? Well, that, and you can see just over there, there's another Chamberlain tractor. For those who don't know what these tractors are, whether that be if you're from the UK or you're from America or something, these are called Chamberlain tractors. They're pretty much like the sacred machine that over the course of the years, pretty much all West Australian farms have had at least one of these at some point. A lot of them farms don't tend to have Chamberlain tractors these days because, for those who don't know, Chamberlains, they were started in Welshpool, Western Australia around 1950 when the 40Ks first came out, which were open station tractors, and they were only two-wheel drive like this example is right here, and they were built by West Australians for Australian conditions in general. They're not as common over in the eastern states like Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales, places like that, but you would find at least one Chamberlain knocking around the place in WA here, just like this one, and also the C6100 over there. The backstory behind these tractors were quite a lot of them were built. They expanded and changed like many Australian brands have over the years, until in the 1980s, John Deere, which is an American company, they bought quite a lot of shares out of the Chamberlain Tractor Company, and eventually by 1986, Chamberlain John Deere was a thing, and Chamberlain itself, like standalone Chamberlain, except for those that were still knocking about the place like this 9G and the C6100 and 4080s and 4480s and all those other tractors, the ones that were already produced under the Chamberlain name, stuck with the Chamberlain name. By the 1990s, Chamberlain was no more. It was completely incorporated into John Deere. And after that, the Welshpool factory, where this tractor and that other one over there, along with our 9G back up in Canna, well, not much for much longer, which is the reason why this is still here, they're one of the last ones knocking about the place. Now, some of these, like this one, will be in a little bit of a sorry state, only used to, as one might say, work and work only. Other times you find restored tractors knocking about the place, which was what our 9G, not this one, the other one, our 9G was a restored one. I didn't show it in many videos, but you could see it in the background. That 9G had a post hole digger like this one, and we used this to drill bores. Due to saving costs and all that, because it is a very long way from Nelly Creek to Erinvale here, we had to make a few minor tweaks and adjustments. The Chamberlain 9G that we have up on Nelly Creek, that's been sold. Someone else has bought it, and instead we bought this. It's a little bit of a downgrade, considering that the 9G back home had a full cab. This one's got more of like an open station with ROPS and what looks to be a corrugated iron roof. It's a little bit in a shabby state, this Chamberlain, but it's got a front end loader on it. And as far as I am aware, the old owners, Ron and Kim, they used this quite a lot when they owned the place, and now this is going to be one of our first loader tractors, and this will be in charge of loading and unloading stuff on the trailers when we're shifting stuff about the place, until the Red and the WCM loader come down here. We are bringing both of them, and we also bringing the Toyota forklift, which we fixed up last year. But the thing about it is Little Red and the loader are both back up home on Nelly Creek right now because we need them to load and unload stuff. Once the majority of stuff is loaded up there and brought down here, Little Red will be coming down here, followed by the loader and then the Toyota forklift. But we don't know how long that's going to be. As of the time of recording this, it's March. And as far as I'm aware, Dad's bringing the Toyota Land Cruiser as well as the Gator. They'll be coming down here next week. As for the Holden, well, you'll find out next time. But anyways, I think I've rambled on enough. So if you made it this far in this brand new series or something I'm starting, we might need to change it from the Nelly Creek IRL series to the Erinvale series or something like that. It's work in progress title. If you have any suggestions about that, links in the description below. You'll find all my socials like Discord, Instagram, stuff like that. And if you have any suggestions, please do feel free to drop a comment below this video. It helps me out a ton. And if you have been watching this far, thank you. Sorry if it sounded like there's a whole bunch of rambling in this video. Anyway, see you a lot in 2 weeks. I've been the Johnnyman, you've been my audience. Stay safe out there in this crazy, crazy world we're living in. And see you next time. Happy farming, people.